Hi guys, welcome back to Tara Makes Up. Today I have a really exciting video with some lovely girls. They're called The Four of Us and they have an amazing blog. It's a really cool idea. They're three models, Annabelle, Janet and Sarah. And what they do is they have a guest blogger each month. So it's a really cool original idea for blogging. So definitely check out their blog. I'm going to pop it down below. And we thought we would do something kind of inspired by the fact that these girls have to go to castings a lot as models, which is where they have to wear kind of no makeup, very, very natural makeup. So we thought this would be a good idea to do a video. So the twist is we're going to give you three different price points because we thought it'd be great to show you kind of using some drugstore products, some medium range products and some very high-end luxury products. And I want to see from the thumbnail before we start if you can guess which one was which price point. I think it's just a really fun video idea because ultimately what it shows is that, you know, with any budget you can create a no makeup look that you love. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and let's crack on with the looks. So first thing I'm going to start with is the Max Factor Facefinity All Day Primer. This does have SPF 20 in as well, so again if you're out in the city this is a really nice one. A lot of people say this is quite a good dupe for the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. And I do really like it because it's not as silicone-y feeling as a lot of other cheap primers. So this is definitely one that I go back to for saying it's a drugstore product. And it has a nice liquid texture, so similar to moisturiser. For foundation, I've chosen to go with the Revlon Nearly Naked, and I'm using the shade Nude on Sarah. This doesn't come with a pump, so obviously when you are paying less for your makeup, sometimes the way you use the packaging might be one of the elements that you're affected by the price. But I'm going to use a Sigma Round Kabuki brush, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of that. So this is where these kind of foundations can get a bit messier. And again, because this is a nude foundation, we just want the lightest veil over Sarah's skin. And Sarah does have a more tan décolleté than her face, so I'm warming her up ever so slightly, like very, very subtly. And obviously if you have amazing skin, you know, you can skip this step. You don't need to go in with foundation. I think, you know, when you girls are doing castings and stuff, sometimes you go to what, 6 or 7 castings in a day. So, you know, I'm thinking of this as if the girls could wear it all day long, it lasts all day. And be long-lasting, no makeup as well. The next step, I think I'm going to do a tiny bit Sarah's brows. Now I'm going to use this Tanya Burr Cosmetics brow kit, and this actually comes with a little pair of tweezers as well and a little brush, so I think that's pretty good as well for the price point that you're getting a little pair of tweezers. So I'm even going to use the brush that comes with it, and I'm just going to take a bit of Pebble, so the more kind of ashy blonde tone. If I turn you that way, darling. And again, because it's a no makeup look, I don't kind of want to go crazy with products. I'm just going to really softly feather it through Sarah's brows. And Sarah's naturally got quite thin eyebrows anyway, so it wouldn't look natural if I made them really overly thin. So also one thing that I noted in the Tanya Burr palette, you've got this kind of creamy shade, which I think if there's any redness around the brow, you can use that just to take down any red in the eyelid as well. So I'm just using a MAC 217, if you close me down. So we'll just use a little bit of that just above the brow, just to give that tiniest bit of definition. And close to me, I'm just going to take a tiny bit of that in the centre of the lid, just to buff it over, just to kind of neutralise the eyelid a little bit. And then I'm going to go with mascara, and I'm going to use this one by NYX. It's called the Skinny Mascara, and it literally is like the tiniest, thinnest comb. And I think for doing natural makeup, like no makeup, it's really, really good actually. So I'm still going to take a bit of excess off. I'm not going to do anything in the bottom lashes. So if you look down for me, Sarah. And what's really good with this is you can actually almost like print it into the waterline, so you can almost get that kind of like waterline effect into the lashes. And I think this is a really good one for me to use on Sarah because she's got blonde lashes as well, so I can actually use this on top and I can make sure like every single lash is coated. So the next product I'm going to use is quite infamous within the kind of drugstore makeup, and it's the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. Now, I think a lot of people have said they find this quite thick, but I think it's how you use it, in that if you use it with a damp beauty blender, you can get a very similar effect to the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. And I think this does cover blemishes as well quite well. So I'm just going to take a little bit on the inner corner of the eye first, and I'm going to use a fluffy brush and just blend that under the eyes. I'm also going to take that a tiny bit into the inner corner of the eye so it just naturally brightens. And don't be afraid to go a little bit inside the nose. I feel like if you have got redness, even that thing of when your head is like turned upwards, you can see the redness inside. So just make sure you go around the nostrils. So just using a smaller brush now, and I'm just doing a little bit of pinpoint concealing, just on any areas around the chin or the mouth, just to buff it in. And again, I'm just using a softer brush just to tap it in so it doesn't disturb the concealing work we've done. So I'm just taking this one by Barry M. This is Rhubarb Crumble, and this is the Make Me Blush Stick. And it's just a really nice soft pink. And again, the whole point is we're trying to make it look natural, make it look believable. So just go back in with the brush that has some foundation still on it and just buff that into the cheek. And I'm doing it a little bit higher up so it looks natural and believable. That just gives a really nice flush. Like Tony, that can be done. And then to finish, we're just going to use good old-fashioned Vaseline and use a little bit of that on the lips, just to give a little bit of natural sheen. And I'm going to go slightly over the Cupid's bow with the Vaseline, so it just makes Zara's top lip look that little bit larger. And the last thing you can do as well, guys, is even use your Vaseline just a little bit on tops of the cheekbones, just to give a little bit of sheen. And again, you're going to get that nice dewy finish, so even if you don't have a foundation and you just want to use concealer, just adding this step even a little bit to the centre of the nose will just give you that nice kind of dewy effect of a foundation on a super budget. So it's a nice way just to finish the look as well. So now onto the mid-price range, and I'm going to start with the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturiser because it's an SPF 20, it's lightweight, and I just think it's a very, very universally easy to use tinted moisturiser. So especially when you're doing kind of no makeup, it's a very easy, foolproof, trusty one to use. And obviously because it's tinted moisturiser, I'm not as fussed about using a primer. So we're just going to pop this kind of all over the skin, but again, it's a tinted moisturiser, so it'll just give a little bit of unity. And the other thing I really like about Laura Mercier is that you can get kind of the right texture for your skin. So they have radiance tinted moisturisers, they have like oil-free ones, they have ones that are hydrating, so you can really cater to your skin's needs, which I think is really important. And just make sure, even when you're doing like no makeup, you just take your finger and just soften it through the hairline. Just if you have any baby hairs, the foundation doesn't catch in them. Or, especially if you have a lot of baby hair, you can always use like a spoolie, like a mascara spoolie, and just brush it through to make sure no foundation catches on the baby hairs. For brows, I'm going to use Gimme Brow by Benefit. I've got the old packaging, which it has now changed, but I always still like to take a little bit of excess off on a tissue because I find any kind of mascara product for the brows, it can have that little bit too much product. So I'm just going to brush the brows up so they look nice and soft. And then for mascara, I'm going to use this new one by Max Factor, which is the False Lash Epic. But again, like the other mascaras, I'm just going to make sure I take a bit off as well because it's new as well. The formula is going to be very, very wet. I'm going to leave the bottom lashes as well. So if I turn you that way down and look down. So I'm just going to make sure the lashes, and I'm keeping most of the product here as well into the roots so that there's a nice kind of natural black lash line. If you look that way and down for me, Dan. And then I'm just using the ball just to kind of separate the lashes a little bit and just fan them out for a natural finish. For concealer, I'm going to use a bit of NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This one, again, you can also use with the Beauty Blender if you want to, but it's just a nice yellowy tone concealer. So I'm going to use this to brighten under the eye area, and I'm just going to use a fluffy brush as well. So I'm just going to use this to brighten under the eye. So then I'm going to use cream blush and I'm going to add a little bit of powder. So I'm going to go in with the NARS blush, and this one is the For Your Amusement, which is actually lip and cheek colour, so you can use it for both. So I'm just going to tap, if I turn you that way, darling. I think as well, especially when you have a tan, you want to get some pink into your cheeks just to kind of give that bit of healthy colour. Look like you've been running outside and you've got a nice healthy glow. So I'm just tapping that over the cheek, and again back with my foundation brush. I think that's the most natural way to make it become part of your skin, is when you tap it in but also blend with what's left on your foundation brush. So then I'm going to take a bit of another MAC product. This is the Light Plus Mineralized Skin Finish, and we're just going to use this because it will still keep the glow, this powder. It's a really good one for kind of knocking back shine that you don't want but still giving you that nice luminosity in your skin. So I'm just going to take that under the eye. And we're going to leave the nice sheen on the cheek because I want to keep that. I think that's really pretty. But you can also, don't be afraid to kind of powder on the jawline. I feel like sometimes if you have oily skin and you worry about wearing a cream blush, don't be afraid just to powder on that lower part of the jawline so you just have the sheen where you want it. And then to finish, I'm just going to use a little bit of the Kors. This is a really nice lip butter, and this is in the shade Pomegranate. Now you can use something like the MAC Lip and Cheek Pot. You can use these, but that one is very pigmented. So this one I find has a little bit more of a balmy texture, and I want the tiniest, I mean, I'm patting it on so lightly because you can literally use this like a lip balm, you know, properly kind of lacquer the lips up, but I just want the tiniest bit of pink just so that it kind of brings out Annabelle's natural lip colour. So if you do a good blot for me, and that just brings the blood to the surface as well, so you're not having to add as much pigment. And I like that this one is not super glossy when you kind of just tap it on, so you do get that natural kind of lived in lip look. So that is our middle look, guys. That is our no makeup on the middle price point. So let's move on to the super expensive top of the budget no makeup look. So on Gorgeous Janet, the first product I'm going to use is a very hefty price tag. This one is the Gold Primer, the Radiance Concentrate with pure gold, ladies, pure gold. This is from Guerlain, and I'm going to use this to prep our no makeup look. So the little gold kind of flecks disperse onto the skin and it just brightens. It is a very, very beautiful primer, but as I said, it is a pricey primer. So this is the very top end of the luxury cosmetics. Now, foundation, we've got another very pricey one. We have the Suku foundation, which I really, really like this one actually. This is in shade 30. It's a cream foundation. I think this comes in at about £65. One thing with this is it will last you a really long time, so that's a good thing. At least you're paying more, but it's going to last you a long time. And because I've got the nice Radiance primer on, I'm just going to use the tiniest bit of this where I need it. So just maybe a tiny bit around the centre of the face. I think with no makeup, you still want to see your freckles, so I don't want to lose Janet's beautiful freckles. And I think when the primer's still a little bit wet, it almost kind of blends in even better. So I'm just using a Louise Young brush and very, very small amounts of this, but this is a very nice hydrating foundation. So this part exists on the Charlotte Tilbury brow pencil, which is really, really cool because you've got your spoolie, which you can just brush your hairs up with, and you can actually use this just kind of like in the brow bone as like a little highlight, which is quite a clever idea. It's sort of, maybe some people might find it a little bit gimmicky, but I think, you know, just to lift the brow, just to lift the arch is really nice. And it's quite nice as a little highlight on the Cupid's bow actually as well. And if you just look up for me, darling, just the tiniest dot on the inside corner. And then I'm going to use some of the spoolie ends, so the end that has a little bit. And I'm not going to massively shape Janet's brows. I just want to give that little bit of shape. So they should still look bushy. They should still look like her brows, but just maybe slightly thicker and a slight bit more shape, but I still want them to look natural and like her own brows. The next thing I've got is concealer. Now this is a favourite of mine by Estee Lauder. It's the Double Wear, which is a stay in place, and it's the high coverage one. I'm using the shade 2W Light Medium. So if you look up for me, darling, so I'm just going to pat this with my fingers just to hide any darkness. And again, don't be afraid if you're doing a no makeup look, just to kind of tap it in with the warmth of your fingers. And this is great because with this concealer, again, you can cover under your eye circles, but you can also take it over any little blemishes. So then I'm going to use some Delilah Micro Fine Loose Powder. And again, I think for no makeup, I always think it looks lovely when it's still got that dewiness and it looks like just beautiful skin. So I'm going to use the smallest amount. I'm literally only using what's on the powder puff. Just around the nose. Tiny bit through the T-zone. And the tiniest bit, if you look up for me, darling, just to set under the eyes so there's no movement. So then I'm going to take still a convertible colour in Poppy. This is just a beautiful, lovely kind of autumny shade it's quite reddy and pink, but again it will just kind of disperse down to a super healthy flush. So I'm just going to start with fingertips, and then I'm going to go back to my foundation brush, and I'm just going to let that become a part of the skin, so that Janet looks like she's been for a nice healthy walk on Hampstead Heath. So mascara, I'm going to use the Tom Ford. This is the Ultra Length Mascara. Now, with most of my kind of no makeup looks, even though I'm using a higher mascara, I'm still going to take a bit of the excess product off in a tissue, just so it's not as full on. So if I turn you that way down, look down. So I'm just going to put it into the top lashes. I'm not going to do the bottom lashes. We're just going to give, if you look that way and down for me, down, we're just going to give the top lashes a little bit of mascara. And then to finish, I'm going to use the Sarah Chapman Skin Assist Lip Enhancer, which has one end which is a power base, so it's like a lip filler, a natural lip filler you can use just around the edge of the lips to kind of naturally plump. So it's like a little cream balm. So this will just hydrate the lips and give it a natural plump appearance. So we put this on first, same way I would do a normal balm. So then just using the tint balm, this is the other end, this just adapts to the natural colour of your lips. So you can see it's just bringing through the pink in a very, very subtle way. but I think it's lovely. It just looks like Janet's lips look nice and healthy. So that's the finished look, guys, and that is the most expensive look. I'll put on the screen the total cost that this came in at. There you have it. That is the very, very expensive no makeup look. So there you have it, guys. There's 3 different price points. Could you tell which one was going to be the most expensive, which one was going to be the cheapest? Let me know if you did have a favourite, if any of these are products that you like to use, and I just think it was a really fun idea. I really enjoyed doing this with the idea that it doesn't matter how much money you have, you can create a look that you love with any budget. So I'd love it if you guys subscribe. Make sure you check out the Forest blog, which I will link in the description box below, and I'll see you soon for more videos. Thanks very much, guys. Bye.